Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. It's beautiful as always there. Good day for you so far?
We're good. I think we're all good.
Well, it's a pleasure to have Fee Waybill on the line always. Is it a good day so far, aside from having to talk to media people who are going to say the same 10 questions?
No. It's a great day. I can't remember your name, however. What's your name? Sorry.
I'm Darren.
Darren. Right, Darren.
Tom made this happen, and it's always a pleasure to connect with you because
he's the greatest.
You're one of those people who never gives the same answer twice and just has so many stories that I can only imagine you've only told like 10% of what really happened over the last.
Well, it's a family show.
Exactly.
But it's a great day. We had a great weekend. We just finished playing 2 shows here in Los Angeles area, the Canyon Club out in Agoura Hills and the Canyon Club in Montclair. And it was, we were a little worried about, pre-sale and with COVID and but both nights there was a ton of walk up, just a ton. The place was packed. It was great. I mean, I can imagine people, sitting home at Friday night going, no, I'm not staying home. I'm going out.
Right.
And so they, at the last minute, they get in their car and they go buy a ticket. So it was great.
Well, a couple of months before COVID, a couple of months, my wife and I had the pleasure of seeing you in Westbury, Long Island, New York. And that was on the Completion Backward Principle tour. Is that the theme of this tour as well? Or are you still playing that album in full? Yeah,
we are. We're still playing that. Well, first of all, it was difficult to get everybody to get, when we put a new show together, it's a good 2 solid weeks of rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And that means I got to go to San Francisco. I live in LA and everybody else lives up north. And we just, with the on and off and the Delta and this and then no flying and then quarantine. So we just decided, that we would continue with Completion Backward. Almost every show except one on this current run through October is new. It's a show we have not played before. The only new one, the only old one is this North Tonawanda, which is like outside of Buffalo. And we did play the show there, but that was the only one of I think we have 12 shows or something in October. And so we just went, okay, no, let's just, just do it. Let's keep on doing it. It's been going well. I mean, it's a really fun show and we get really a good response. And we start off with Talk to You Later and we play the whole album all the way through in order. And usually, Talk to You Later is the closer, although we do also play it a reprise version at the close of the show. But so it's a great way to just get it going and get it started. Up tempo rock and roll. It's great.
It's so nice you play it twice. And it's a new show. You don't have to give any spoilers, but do we still get the chaps towards the end of the show in this new run?
Oh yeah, Bondage. Bondage is in the show. Absolutely. And What Do You Want From Life and White Punks and of course, all the She's a Beauty, all of the classic songs that everybody wants to hear.
I'm excited about that Le Poisson Rouge show in New York City, to say the least. It's intriguing to me that not only are you still successful at this high level all these years later, but you're still able to straddle the world between being prog and pop. For me, it's you and Rundgren are the two, the godfathers of we had a couple of mainstream hits, but we also only did the art that we wanted to do all these years later. I don't know who else is on that Mount Rushmore of people who got to pursue what it is they wanted, have their mainstream thing, and still have a career 40, 50 years later.
Yeah.
Now here's the question in that.
Okay.
When did you realize that it was going to be okay being a niche artist? Not having to conform to those rules of the majors and that you were going to be okay the rest of your life?
Well, I still don't think I've realized that. I mean, we were, we were signed to A&M Records in '75, and Herb and Jerry, we were kind of a punk band, and we were unusual, and we were doing this incredible theatrical performance, with 35 people on stage, and just, insane art for art's sake. Yeah. And everybody loved it. And, we never had a hit. We did 5 records on A&M. We never had a hit, really. We had one song, White Punks was kind of a hit, on the Rock Channel. Prime Time was a hit off the Remote Control album, was a hit in England only, not here. And then Don't Touch Me There kind of, I think, made top 40. So we never, we were a live band, and our reputation was an unbelievable, insane, live show. And it never really translated to sales. And we were okay with that. And then until after about the 5th album, where it didn't translate to sales, and the record company went, okay, well, it's really been cool having this kind of obscure cult band on our label, but we don't want to pay for it anymore. Right. And so they released us, and they had the Carpenters and Captain and Tennille and the Police and these kind of mainstream acts that were selling a lot of records. And we just didn't quite fit in anymore. And so we got released, and we went to every company. We were pretty much turned down by every company in 1980. And we didn't know what to do. And we were thinking, oh my God, this is it. It's over. We'll go find a day job. And then a guy from Capitol Records, a musician, a guy named Bobby Columbi, who used to be the drummer of Blood, Sweat and Tears. Mm-hmm. And he became an A&R guy at Capitol. And he was a huge fan of our band, and especially Prairie Prince, the drummer. And so he thought, I think I can he talked them into letting him have a chance at signing us and kind of turning around our whole past history. Mm-hmm. And so he did. He signed us, and he paired us up with David Foster. Mm-hmm. And David Foster, the hitman, David Foster, he had just done, he had just completed Boogie Wonderland with Earth, Wind and Fire. He had never done a rock and roll album in his history. And he had a #1 song with After the Love Is Gone. And he came up to us, and he didn't know if, he thought we were insane. And we thought, oh, this guy's too straight for us. And then we started going through arrangements, and he said, okay, well, play me your songs. And so we started playing, Amnesia and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. And immediately he started becoming an arranger, and he just turned these songs around in like a heartbeat. And we were just stunned, that, and then he said, do you have a ballad? At the time, everybody was looking for the big rock ballad, right. And it was all kind of it was funny. We thought back then, oh, music is becoming so corporate. We thought back then, imagine now, but, so he said, we need a ballad. They want a ballad. And we went, no, we're just, we're a rock and roll band. The only ballad we had ever done was on, Love's a Mystery on the Remote Control album. And, that was a great ballad. Actually, I love that song. Mm-hmm. And so Vince Welnick said, well, wait, I have something. And so he started playing the chords for Don't Want to Wait Anymore. And David just went, there you go, and I wrote the lyrics, and he puts in a big modulation at the end. His whole thing was, it's got to pay off. The song has got to have a beginning, middle, and payoff, modulation, double chorus, whatever it takes. It's got to pay off at the end. And he kind of took Vince's arrangement and put in the modulation and put in the big ending, and then and we were still thinking, no, we've got this big rock song. We've got Talk to You Later, and that I wrote with Steve Lukather and David Foster, and we thought, no, this has got to be the single. It's got to be Talk to You Later. This is the big rock song. This is a great rock song. And the record company went, no, it's got to be Don't Want to Wait Anymore. And they released that first. And it did really well. And then the Talk to You Later was #1 on the rock chart. Talk to You Later was #1 in 17 countries, not the USA, however. And to get back to answering your question, we had this big success, and the critics were saying, oh, this wacky cult punk band has sold out. Oh, they sold out. They're on the radio, they're selling records, and we're going, oh, so that's a bad thing? We're sellouts now because we're actually making money and doing bigger venues, and we're doing, we're getting radio airplay, and we're thrilled. We thought that our career was over pretty much. And then we sat back and went, we can do it both. And that's when we realized we can do it all. We can do both. We can still keep the cult weird punkness of the show and also include, the more commercially popular songs. And that's when we finally thought, okay, I think this is going to work. And then we went on to do another record with David Foster, and we had an even bigger hit with She's a Beauty, and the same thing. Oh, sellouts! You're all sellouts. You're on. You're #1 on Billboard Pop Chart, and you're selling out, and now you're not weird anymore. And we go, no, we're weird. We're really weird. Come and see us. You'll see. And so ever since then, we've we put live shows together with kind of a thematic. Before Completion Backward Principle was the first time we ever did a whole album. A lot of bands have done it. It's not an original idea, but it's the first time we ever did it. And
it works great.
And it works. And we made a deal with Universal, and they reprinted the vinyl version of the album with a fold open and blue vinyl, and remastered, and did a whole new product. And so that kind of helped put it all together. And but we, like, the show before this was Pulp, was kind of a tribute to Quentin Tarantino. We did like a Pulp Fiction show. It was called Mondo Pulp, and it was very weird. And the show before that was like a Fellini tribute, and it was called La Dolce Vita. And I did Marcello Mastroianni, and we did a Pavarotti duet. Pavarotti did a duet with James Brown back in 2002 for a charity, and they did This Is a Man's World.
Yeah, it's a man's world.
Brown starting in English and Pavarotti in Italian. And oh my God, I love the song. And so we did it. And I sang both parts. I sang James Brown in English and Pavarotti in Italian. And so every show we try to put some kind of a thematic background together, and add in different, we've got the core songs that we're always going to play, White Punks and She's a Beauty and Talk to You Later, and What Do You Want from Life, and Bondage, and then we just work in all the like 10 or 12 other songs that kind of go along with this theme. And I think that's speaking of longevity and why we're still out there doing this is because they know that. These people, they know that. Our fans know that. They know that they're going to see a different, every time they come to see us, they're going to see something different. They're going to see something weird. But at the same time, they're still going to get their favorites, their commercially favorite songs. So
yeah, I get what you're saying. I love the message that you saw through the whole thing. The question I have tied into all that is, every band that sold millions of records, if they had just held on for like the quote unquote bottoming out,
yeah,
they would have known that 10 years later there would have been a resurgence. They would have been covered. Everything would have been fun if they could have just hold on. Like, for example, Poison was playing arenas. Then, you know, the myth, whether or not you believe that grunge killed the hair bands, I don't know. But Poison, it was not great for them in 94, 95, 96, 97. But then Hello 99, arena amphitheater reunion tour, and business is good again. So I was curious if there was a particular bottoming out point and then a realization of, you know what, we're still going to make a living playing to 400 or 500 people a night, and it can grow. Was there a particular year? And it's fine if not.
Well, I guess the bottom out was about right after Love Bomb, after the third album on Capitol Records, and we had done 2 big hit records with David Foster. And David Foster is brilliant, but he doesn't have a lot of détente when it comes to dealing with the band that's been together for 15 years.
Yes.
And David wanted to do on the third album, which never happened. He wanted to do, you know, like he wanted to do side A with just me and Steve and David Foster writing a bunch of She's a Beauty type songs. And then side B, you can do whatever you want. And the band just kind of went, what? No, we're a band. No, we don't, that's not going to work. And I, you know, was kind of caught in the middle with my loyalty to the band. And on the other hand, my awareness that these 2 albums have changed our career, and these are the 2 biggest albums we have ever had. And if we don't continue, this is a mistake. And so I was outvoted by the band. We unloaded David Foster. We did Love Bomb. Love Bomb was a bomb. So it should have been Just Bomb, and it bombed. And the record company released us, the management released us, the agency released us, everybody just disappeared. And the whole thing just you know, faded away. And I, you know, I was very upset, and I had threatened to quit the band if they did this. And so I was kind of backed into a corner. So I ended up quitting the band in 1988, 89. I quit. I left. I moved to LA. I left San Francisco. I moved to LA. I started writing lyrics for Richard Marx.
The one thing I want to ask you before I let you go is a Richard Marx related question.
Okay, well, anyway, so I was fine. I started writing lyrics for Richard Marx, and you know, his first album, I had 4 songs on his first album. It sold like 4 million records.
Yes.
So I'm fine. I'm sitting at home waiting for the mailman.
Yeah.
You know, to show up with the publishing check.
Yes.
Right. Mailbox money. And, you know, and I figured, well, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm done as a live performer. And the band kind of faded away, and they tried going on without me. That didn't work. And so they kind of stopped playing. And then out of the clear blue sky, which is really weird, we were huge in Europe. Huge in England and Germany and Western Europe. We always were big. In fact, when we went to England the first time, and we did in 77, 78, and we did the live album at Hammersmith Odeon, and then we came back and it did really well there. And people, you know, we came back to the USA and they thought we're a British band.
Right.
You know, and I was doing Quaalude with the big shoes and the English accent, and they went, oh yeah, these guys are from London. And but anyway, so we're at the we're at the bottom of the barrel, okay, in like 88, 89, 90, but complete bottom of the barrel, nothing happening. I'm sitting around living in Westwood waiting for the mailman. And a guy from Germany, a promoter from Germany, his name is Henning Torgel, and he had promoted a number of our German tours in the past. And he said, if I'm offering you a 60-show tour of Western Europe if Fee gets back in the band. And so, Roger calls me up on the phone. He goes, "Hey, what's happening?" I went, "I don't know. I'm sitting around waiting for the mailman." And he goes, "Well, this German promoter wants us to do 60-show tour of Europe in the spring of 1993. And he said, but it's only if you're in the band." And I said, "Really?" And yeah. And I said, "Well, what's happening with you guys?" And a couple of, when I left, Mike Cotton left. He moved to New York and started doing scenic design and has done very, very well. He's brilliant. And then Bill Spooner, he left the band because he had gotten divorced from his wife, married a second time, and his second wife said, "You can't go on tour anymore. No, that's no good. You're not going. It's either me or the tour. You're done." And so he couldn't tour. So we're down to a 5-man band. And I said, "Okay, well, let's do it. Let's try it." And so we did. We got back together, and we had a different keyboard player. Vince, committed suicide in 1990. Well, actually, he was at the time in 93. Vince was in the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
He was playing keyboard in the Grateful Dead.
Yes.
And so we had another keyboard player. And then he ended up committing suicide in 96, which was horrible. And but we went and did the tour of Germany, and we did all these 60 shows. And we didn't do a lot of production. We had no dancing girls. We had not a lot of costuming at all. And everybody kind of looked at us like, "What? I mean, where's
songs? Who would have known those were songs?
Who are these guys? Where's the big shoes? Where's the dog and pony show?" And
yeah.
So we did that. Actually, we did that for a couple of years, 94, 95. We did no show, and people, I kind of felt weird, and people felt weird coming to see us. And then in 90, I think it was end of 95, I can't remember. We did a big show in Copenhagen. It was the Rock Slide. It was a big festival, a big 4-day festival.
Oh, Roskilde. Yeah.
Roskilde, exactly.
Huge. Yeah.
Huge. And they contacted our agency, and they said, "We want the Tubes to close the show on Sunday night, but only if there's a big show. We want a big show. We want production. We want the big show." And so, and it was big money. And so we said, okay. And so then we hired a girl dancer. We put Don't Touch Me There with a motorcycle back in the show. I got the big shoes back out and repaired them. I got, we hired, actually we hired one featured singer and 2 girl background singers, kind of dancer girls. And so we did this big show for Roskilde, and it went over. It was huge. And they went, and the reviews were ridiculous. And we kind of went, okay, well, I guess we're back to the insane production. Once again, it's art for art's sake. And so ever since then, for what is it, 2021, unbelievable.
Yeah, 25-ish years.
We've been doing the theatrics along with the music. And that's kind of, that was always was our reputation. And it was just a matter of how do you make it work, on the financial side, on the artistic side, on the musical side. How do you put it all together so it works and you're you're fulfilling the expectation of the people that saw you, in the 80s when we blew their mind with the greatest show on earth. And so that's what we've been doing now for about, gosh, the second time around, we've been together 25 years, even longer than the first time. So,
right.
So I'm pretty happy. And I'm so lucky. I mean, my voice, my voice is still there. I never really had a problem with nodes or any kind of vocal. I used to do, when my mother died in 2004. And when we went back to the house to clean up, to sell the furniture and take, and I find this closet that's got like 10 boxes of stuff. And she has kept every newspaper article, every magazine, every itinerary, everything. And so Elizabeth and I, my wife is Elizabeth, and she said, well, we have to do a book. We have to do a book of your life. We've got all this material. Let's put it all together and do a book. And so we've been working on that, for like 5-8 years. We're still working on it. It's almost done though. It's called Fee Waybill's Guide to an Unknown Trail. And but I'm looking at these itineraries, and we're doing like 10 in a row.
Right. No
12 shows in a row. And how could I have possibly done that? Right now, I tell the booking agent, I don't want to do more than 3 in a row. On a very few occasions, I'll do 4 in a row, but that is absolutely it. But I was going to say that when we did, the only way I was able to do 10 in a row was acupuncture. We would come into a city, I'd get the phone book out, I'd find an Asian acupuncturist and go straight to their office. And they would, and go, my throat's strained, and they would stick the needle like right there, right into your vocal cords, and right there, and then right here, and there, and there, and there, and there, and in your head, and all over was pincushion. And every time, it worked every time. And it took away the inflammation, it took away the strain. And here I am, I'm back. And I walk out of there an hour later singing like a bird. And I go to sound check and, okay, 10 in a row, not a problem. So
I'm looking forward to that book. That's, of course, not your first book, because in 2014 you had My Whole Body Poured Out Into You, songs and poems. But do you have time for one quick question, and then you're a free man to
sure. No, I'm good. I'm good.
You were the first person I was aware of who successfully collaborated with Richard Marx as an outside singer-songwriter, because he co-wrote a Tubes hit. I don't think that the public realized that he co-wrote the Kenny Rogers song, and he got told no by every record company before he had his successful career. But one thing I didn't know about Richard Marx until about 5 years ago was that he is just the funniest person there is. Just jokes and jokes and jokes. Almost like that goes against the persona of being the ballad guy who's singing the wedding songs that make the generations cry. So my question was Richard Marx that funny in the mid 80s, or is this just a later in life thing that he's become like a Borscht Belt comic?
Well, I mean, his Twitter feed is just hilarious. And no, he was always a funny guy. And he just didn't have an outlet for it. Before social media, he didn't. I mean, we've known, I've been writing songs with him. It's funny because, he's one of those guys where if you screw him, that's it. You're done for the rest of your life with Richard Marx. And, and we met in the studio with David Foster, and we were doing She's a Beauty. And we met him in the studio, and he had written a song for Lionel Richie, and he came to LA to watch Lionel Richie record it. And he said, I want to meet David Foster. He's a great producer. I want to learn something from him. And he came to one of our sessions and sat in the back of the room, and he's sitting in the back of the room, and we're trying to get this, Bill was there trying to figure out a guitar solo. And he's having trouble, and he's hungover, and his amp is broken, and it can't make, nothing's working. And he's mad, and I'm there. There's only me and Bill and David Foster, and the engineer was Umberto Gatica. And so, Bill's really frustrated, and David's given, again, and we've been there hours trying to figure this out. And so he sees Richard in the shadows, way in the back of the control room, and he goes, "Who's this guy? What's this guy doing in here? Get this guy out of here!" And I said, "Bill, come on, dude. It's just some kid." Richard was 18. It was some kid, he's just a friend trying to meet David Foster. I said, "Don't worry about this kid. Just go out there and let's get this tune done." And so he did. And at the end of the day, Richard came up to me and went, "Man, thanks so much, man, for sticking up for me. And, I'm a big fan of your lyrics. And would you write a song with me?" And I just kind of went, "Really? What for?" And he goes, "Well, I don't know, just to write a song. I don't know." I said, "Okay, fine. I'll write a song with you." And so we did. And then we became friends. And then we wrote some more songs together. And then finally in like 88, 89, he gets a deal with Manhattan Records, which is a part of Capitol, and puts out a record. And we've been, and I'm the godfather to his three sons. He's got three brilliant sons that are just musically brilliant. Every one of them, it's ridiculous, as you may expect. Yeah. And so we've been friends for years and years and years. He lives out here in Malibu now. And so we see each other a lot. And I just released my third solo album, the Fee Waybill Rides Again solo album, that Richard produced, and Richard and I wrote all the songs together. And we had been working on this for like, Daisy, 5 years or something. Daisy, my dog is, the landscaper is here. Okay. That's okay, Daisy. Come on, Daisy, come on. Daisy. We've got the gate open, and I don't want her to run out into the street.
If you need to run, you need to run. But
no, it's okay. You're okay. So anyway, it's okay, Daisy girl. Yeah, it's okay. Get up here.
Oh, there you go. There's Daisy. I think it's so heartwarming that you and I'm going to end this one on a compliment right here.
Oh, okay.
That you learn. I'm a big wrestling fan, for better and for worse, and you learn as you get older. The bad guys are really generally the nicest in real life, and the good guys are the prissy guys who usually are late to things. "Oh, I need to do my hair. Oh, I have to smile. Oh, I have to meet more kids." And so your persona on stage is like, you're this like scary, imposing, difficult guy that goes into characters. And then anyone who ever speaks with you is like, that's the greatest guy. I love Fee Waybill. And then Richard has this like different persona where he's thought of as this balladeer, but then the people who know him on social media see this different persona. Yeah. So you guys are this friendship that I don't think anyone would have expected to work professionally, personally.
I know, it's crazy. Everyone, they call us the odd couple. But I understand him. He understands me. I mean, and after whatever, 35 years, 38 years, I mean, there's nothing. And also, I think we're both Virgos. His birthday is the 16th of September. Mine's the 17th. So every year, and then his boys are also Virgos. And so we have this same kind of consciousness about, we want it to be right. We want it to be perfect. We want to, don't let any, no straggling, no loose ends, keep a tight ship. And make sure it's right, and treat people like you want to be treated. And I think that one thing that I've kind of learned from him, which is kind of the completion backward principle, is imagination creates reality. He's always been a big manifestation guy, and he talks about it. He talks about, this is what I want, and I'm going to manifest it, and I'm going to keep on manifesting it until it happens. And I am the same way. And I want so badly to be on Broadway. And I've been acting in a summer stock theater for about since 98. I've been going out there in the summer and doing plays. And I've done, Frankenfurter, I've done Rocky Horror about 200 times out there. And
wow.
it's a big hit.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of other ones. I did the Eric Idle play, Spam-A-Lot. I played King Arthur, and and I love the stage, and my life is the stage. And I just and I love Broadway, and I just, that's my manifestation. That's my imagination creates reality. Someday I'm going to get there. I know I am, and I'm just going to keep manifesting it until it happens. And we've been there quite a few times to see plays. And every time we go to New York, we try to take in a play. We saw Network with Bryan Cranston was brilliant. And, Dear Evan Hansen and Come From Away. And I just read, and Hamilton, we've seen it like 3 times.
Right.
And I just read an interview with Daniel Craig, and Daniel Craig is going to do Macbeth on Broadway. And I love Daniel Craig, and I think, other than Sean Connery, he's the best James Bond there ever was. And
fair,
just my opinion. But and that he's so rugged, and he's such a great actor. And so anyway, that's my manifestation. And but doing the Tubes show gosh, I don't know. I have to give credit to my wife, because I've been, I've had such trepidation for the last 19 months about, will live performance ever come back? And will I ever be on the stage again, where I live? And what am I going to do if this doesn't happen? And oh my God, and she's been there the whole time for me, going, no, honey, don't worry about it. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Keep singing every day so that you'll be ready. Stay thin. Keep working out. Don't give it up, so that when it happens, you'll be ready. And so I really, I don't know what I'd do without her. And now she's kind of taken over helping me with the show, and she's helping with the merch and helping with the VIP meet and greet, which we do before every show. And she's helping me with the settlement, and she's helping with costumes, and helping me with everything. So
that's what wives are for, and mine is 3 feet away looking on, going, wow, you're talking to him again. But the bottom line is, looking forward to your show at Le Poisson Rouge in a couple of weeks. Thanks for the many years of great art, and thanks for keeping everything at such a high level. Maybe that goes to your wife, that compliment. She's definitely have major responsibility there. And we've never played this place in New York. We've never played Le Poisson Rouge. Yeah, and I guess it's like Bleecker Street, right? Bleecker, it used to be the Village Gate in the 80s. So some legendary jazz albums were recorded there. I think Ella Fitzgerald, there might be a recording or two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you're playing where the legends play.
Wow. That's so great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. And thank you very much, man, for your time. And so, where are you? Are you in New York?
Long Island, New York, a town called Long Island. Beach. You probably played at Malibu in the early to mid 80s. Lido Beach, Long Island.
Oh yeah.
You probably played at the Action House here in Island Park. You were around here, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were around for sure. Okay, well, thank you, and maybe I'll see you at the show.
Looking forward, Fee. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.
All right, man. Thank you.
Paltrocast.